Hi hi everybody. I'm just gonna do a quick video, well, not a quick video, but a video. So the last few weeks, several weeks, I've been busy with school, work, and court stuff. A few weeks ago, we had our PPP ball, which went over very well. From what I've heard, our show went well. There's not much I could say about the PP ball. I did have a few missteps. My outfits didn't come when they were supposed to. They both arrived on Saturday, and was not able to perform what I planned to on Friday night, and I ended up doing that Saturday instead. I decided to save my Frozen 2 mix for a future event or show if I'm ever given that opportunity. Excuse me. So, I have also made some interesting announcements, and I'm going to also talk about something I've been wanting to talk about. Uh, so, as you all know, I am not only an LGBT member, and I'm also a supporter, I always have been. Most people, when they first meet me, think I'm straight, which is hilarious because I don't feel like I need to prove my sexuality to anybody. You know, I don't feel like my coming out story is anything special. I don't feel like there needs to be an announcement for it. But I can kind of tell it shortly. When I was younger, I never said, like, when I was younger, I didn't really have crushes on girls. You know, that didn't happen until high school. So when I was in high school, I didn't really know who I was, of course, because who knows who they are in high school. I still don't know fully who I am, and so I came out as bisexual to my dad. He didn't believe it. He was like, "You're not bi, blah blah blah." You know, all that typical, stereotypical stuff that he would say, like, "You're going through a phase. You're just gay because your friends are gay or something." He would say stuff like that, not realizing that you just can't get the gay from somebody. That's not how it works. If only being gay was something you could turn off. That's the way he was treating it, and it was really ignorant because my dad, I care about him, I love him, I value him as a person, but because he's still my dad, but I don't really agree with any of his morals. Like, he is the complete opposite of what I am. Yeah, I'll admit that I'm ignorant about some stuff, but I'm not. But if I say something that offends somebody, I do apologize because maybe I don't know as much as some people. And I don't pretend to know everything. I mean, if someone wants to educate me about something, go ahead. I'm willing to learn. Just contact me on Facebook, YouTube, etc. I'm willing to learn. So back in so after high school, when I went to college the first time, I didn't I didn't I I was still, I considered myself bi at that time. I didn't come out fully gay until maybe about let's see, about 2012, 2013. I finally came out as lesbian. And that, I never, like, I don't hide the fact, I never hid the fact that I was gay or not. I just never said it all the time. So if people were saying or assuming I was straight because I never said I was gay, that's kind of silly because we're everywhere. So, and even though I didn't go through a lot of negative stuff in high school for being LGBT because I wasn't open back then, I still supported everyone. I've always supported everybody no matter what. That's just how I am. I've never judged people about for anything that's race, color, sexuality, disability. Cliche, I know, but it's true. I never really did. Now, my dad, on the other hand, he's very ignorant, not just about LGBT members. He's also very ignorant when it comes to people having tattoos. He's very ignorant about you know about a lot of things, and he pretends like he knows everything about everything, but he doesn't. And I don't. But my dad is my dad, so I can't really change that. People have told me he was born in a time when he was born in late 50s, early 60s. I mean, he's not really modern. He's in the baby boomer generation. So at that point, I found myself going through a lot. People always question my sexuality. I don't know why. I mean, just because the thing is, I never was with a guy. I never was. And just like I never was with a girl. So they really didn't know what I was. And for the longest time, actually thought I was an ace. Because I didn't feel anything, sexually. That's kind of a little bit TMI, but it's the truth. For the longest time, I thought I was. But then when I got with my ex, he was trans. And still, well, he still is trans, but I was with him for a good 2-3 years, and we had a great relationship. I loved him, and we're no longer together, but he was my first real relationship that I had, and it was, it made me realize that I fall in love with the heart, not the parts. So, I find a connection. I have to have a connection with somebody before I fall in love with them. I have to. I'll admit that when I was in middle school, I would have crushes on my best friends. So I guess that makes me pansexual as well as demisexual, because demisexual means that you're attracted to someone who you're close with. I think that's what. And if I'm wrong, if these terms are being used wrong, please let me know. I'm still learning them myself. I know there's a million other terms that. I also learned that my dad is not only ignorant about what is girly and what's not. He has no right to say that, because he thinks that all lesbians look like guys and all, there's no feminine lesbians. I'm like, then you don't know the people I know. Because I know plenty of lesbians that are very feminine, and I know both, but the point is he thinks that every gay person is a stereotype, basically. And that sucks, because he makes very negative comments. Like, he's like, I won't wear when he was shopping for shorts once, he was like, I'm not gonna get those shorts are too short, they'll make me look gay. I'm like, mm. So he's very homophobic and very transphobic. He did not like my ex. He basically did not acknowledge him as a trans person. Called him a she, and that was disrespectful. I always used the correct pronouns to describe my ex, and I never used female pronouns to describe him. That is disrespectful to some who's trans, if they're female to male. And so my dad, he never accepted me being gay to begin with, and he never accepted me being, and he never accepted me for being with a trans person either. When I say when I was with him, he was my partner. I never used husband, or I use partner, because that's gender neutral. I try to use gender neutral terms for the most part. Sometimes it'll come out where I say non-gender neutral terms, but I still feel like I can do that. And also, I'm gender fluid myself, so I feel like I can be girly and feminine, but what it really is girly and feminine. I was raised by a man, and I'm growing up, I was a bit of a tomboy, but I can be girly and put makeup on and be glamorous, and I could be in a t-shirt and jeans. Girls wear t-shirts and jeans, so clothing isn't gender specific either. So, and that's why I've also, going off topic, another thing I wanted to talk about was I've added another musical, well, 2 musicals that I like. And one of them I found relatable because it made me cry, and it has a very good actor, and people have been giving him a hard time about his age. I'm referring to, of course, the amazing, talented Ben Platt. I feel like, like he even said it himself. Like if they waited even longer to film it, he would have not done it. They would have casted somebody else. But I feel like it's fitting. I mean, he was the original Evan Hansen, and that's what I'm referring to. I actually saw, some videos on YouTube, and I've listened to the music several times, and I fell in love with it. It made me cry. I mean, there's fun moments in that show too that I enjoyed, and I'm gonna go see it, in theaters when it comes out. I did actually cosplay Evan for a court show, and the night that I did the out of town show for the PPP ball, I did Waving Through the Window, but the female version. I wore his outfit, but I wasn't a guy. I wasn't presenting as a guy. I was wearing a polo shirt and khakis, but that doesn't make you a guy. I mean, yes, I've done male drag. I did Michael for a short time, and I didn't enjoy male drag that much, but I wish I could, like sometimes our court is still they're still learning to accept the non-binary peeps, as it were, because they are going to be part of our future in our court. And people we have a member who does both, and he's very talented. So I don't feel like and that's a very good thing to be able to do both. I can do both too, but on stage I'm more of a drag queen. I present myself on stage as more female. I don't use the they them pronouns because I don't feel comfortable using those pronouns. Now, if someone tells me to use those pronouns on them, I'll respect that, because I can't. And everybody's different. I don't they always say. I've always been told that your pronouns are valid no matter what. So if you want to use they them, he she, if you want to she her he him. I mean, if you want to use or you want to come up with another term because I know there's many others like the Z and all that. I don't remember what it's called, but the neo pronouns, that's what they're called. Sorry. So I'm excited that our court is allowing that to happen now. They're going to update and change things, because even our PPB ball was a prince, princess, and prince X, which is the non-binary people. That way we have that option to be out there and do that. And most people in our court are hardworking, dedicated, and we, at most events that we have tend to go off without a hitch. I mean, the only negative that happened during the weekend of our PPP was the weather. We actually had rain on Friday night, which we moved our show into the patio. Actually, we normally have it on the outside stage, but we moved it into more towards the patio. And then Saturday, we had the ball. During the day, it rained, but it stopped raining, and by the end of the evening, it was humid, it was hot outside, and we weren't preparing, and also it was foggy. It was also foggy. I'm glad that the show that the events went well. I have not performed since PPP because I've been busy with school and I've been exhausted, and I have a lot on my plate. Still trying to become a pharmacy tech, still trying to do everything I possibly can do. And as I've said, I'm doing everything I can to be successful. And you never know what's going to happen. I take things one day at a time, sometimes a few days at a time, but it's a journey. So I'm going to let y'all go and see what else is next.